Sam, do you know the topic of the conversation for the Elevation Nation podcast?
Well, no. What are we talking about today, man?
Well, first of all, I just want to put it out there to everyone listening and maybe watching now that Elevation Nation has spanned beyond, or at least the podcast spanned beyond Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are on YouTube now. You're going to see our faces, Sam's ugly face, my beautiful face, every Tuesday, every Thursday. We're posting reels on there. We just want to, we think that the podcast should be more than just audio. We got video too. We got a ton of it, hours and hours of footage. So we're coming to you on YouTube. If you want to check out our face and Sam's ugly reactions to what I have to say about him, you can do that. Go to Elevation Nation on YouTube. But that's my plug. Today's a special episode. It's a special episode, and I hope you know why. Do you know why, Sammy?
It's first episode of...
You're so wrong.
Shit.
You're so wrong. It is not the first episode of 2022. We released that.
It's 2023, bro.
Damn, 2023. See, that's crazy. We released that on Tuesday. This is episode 200. Episode 200.
Let's
200.
go.
100 plus 100 equals 200. When we released the episode 100, we said cheers to the next 100. And now we're here at 200. That is freaking crazy.
It's incredible. I'm so excited that we are doing this on YouTube now. The main driver behind us going on YouTube is Parker's been just loving me growing out my hair. He's really jealous of it. He wishes he had flow like this, and he wanted to show the world in YouTube my sick new haircut. And so I'm pumped that Elevation Nation is going to be on YouTube. People can see our smiling faces and how Parker and I bicker with each other. But it's all love. We're excited. 200 episodes. That's pretty wild, Parker. Congratulations. Cheers to you.
So with the 200th episode, I got a few things that we can do in this fortitude in 15 minutes. But I think being on YouTube now is I got to come prepared. I got to be ready. We got to look good. I feel like I need a new recording little studio. Maybe the bed in the background isn't cutting it anymore. I think of Alana Dunn. She's got nice things on her wall. Maybe I need to find a place in my 750 square foot apartment where I can create a studio and, we can make this thing look a little bit better.
I think we just need to buy you a neon sign. I'm sure JJ would love hanging a big Elevate neon sign above your bed. I think it's perfect.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think... I that would be interesting.
We'll see what she says.
So
what do you
200
got?
episodes, the big 200. That is unbelievable. Sam and I came up with Elevation Nation back in 2020, February. If you're an Elevation Nation OG, you know that we started this thing in my former beach house. It was February. We were not going on the beach. We were not going in the ocean. We were figuring out what can we do to help make a difference in the world. And it started with us figuring out ourselves, and that spun into Elevation Nation a few months later. The podcast started in October 2020, and now we are here in January 2023. Think about that. 2020, 2021, 2022, and now we're in 2023. Still Elevation Nation, still name, same people, same mission to help young adults conquer the real world. But what's really cool is that we're bringing together this community. So, question. Now we've talked, got a little sentimental about this is the 4th year we're rolling with Elevation Nation. What is a lesson that you think you've learned after doing 200 episodes of a podcast, Sam?
It's a great question. I think, when we first started Elevation Nation, we were lost and we were searching for answers, right? And I think I found comfort in thinking that this podcast, we can interview all these amazing, successful young people so that maybe I could learn how to not feel lost. And I think the main thing that I took away from our 200 conversations was you may always feel lost. You may feel like you have more direction at certain points. You may feel lost at other points. You may feel highs and you may feel lows. And I think not one person has it figured out where every single day they know exactly what they're going to do. They feel fulfilled. They have their purpose. They have their passion. They have their direction, and they're happy. Not everyone has that every single day. And so even the most successful people that we've interviewed, some of the huge names that we've had on Elevation Nation that are in our community, they don't always have it figured out. And so that made me feel a lot better about myself as someone who likes to be in control and always wants to have things figured out, that it's okay to not always have a plan in place. And sometimes you just have to know that you're going to have to react and go with the flow and roll with the punches. What about you, Parks? What's your number one lesson, man?
Lesson learned. I mean, 200 episodes. I mean, that's a lot. To imagine doing 200 things, one thing 200 times. Like, what other things have you done 200 times? I mean, yes, wake up out of your bed, brush your teeth, like all the basic stuff. But like, think about it. What are some things that you did extra in your life that you've done 200 times? Maybe go to the gym, something that was hard, something that was difficult. And I look back and I think the one thing I think about is a pillar of mental fortitude, and that's accountability. You know, we've had to put time and effort into this thing, and we've held each other accountable. I think releasing an episode every Tuesday and Thursday has held us accountable to get us to 200. But more so, I think it's the accountability that we feel in having these conversations for each other and having these conversations for Elevation Nation, because these are conversations that I think I don't necessarily have every day. I don't think necessarily people hear about these conversations every day. We get vulnerable, we get deep, we talk about the challenges, the struggles, but also the cool things that people are doing. And it's super cool to feel that 200 is going to be in the rearview mirror, and the next, I wouldn't even say goal. Like, you and I never set out a goal of 200 episodes. Never. I never thought we were going to get past like 20. And, you know, now
before we killed each other?
Yeah, now it's just another number. It is kind of cool to think that we've had 200 unique recorded conversations. And I just
do you ever think about like
our
kids listening to this stuff?
So I had this conversation with Miles Grossman in last February. It was like
future elevator, by the way, had a conversation with him all about that this past week. I cannot wait for him to join our community, but that's to come in 2023.
Like the idea, you know how I feel about podcasts. Like, I think everyone should have a podcast, because once you get over the idea that only the 0.01% of podcasts go viral and get famous and you can make a business off of it. That's the truth. But what's beautiful about a podcast is that it's such a low barrier to entry to do it. And I personally think that every single human being on this earth has something unique to say and has a unique story to share. And so I think a podcast is a really great avenue to do that for people. And so when people want to learn more about you, Sam, or me, I think the podcast is a great way where people can find that avenue to do that. They can hear what we're about, the conversations that we have, the experiences that we've gone through, and also our network of people that we've brought on the podcast and whatnot. So I just think it's freaking cool. And I'm so glad we made this decision to start the podcast, because I know we were thinking about a lot of other things.
We had a lot of ideas,
Workbook.
I think. Yeah, we had an app. We had a lot of things.
Maybe workbook would have been it. Maybe that would have been
what is it,
thing,
man?
dude.
This has been it. And I've loved every single episode. It's been absolutely fantastic. Just the fact that we're building this community, I think, the past 2 years have been really focused on growing our brand, Elevation Nation, proving to each other that we can do this thing. I'm really excited for 2023 because we know we can podcast. We know we can produce content. We know we can create newsletters. We know we can find unique young people who are elevating in the real world. Now we're building that into a strong community. And people who are going to support each other, help each other grow as we figure out how to conquer the real world and the world around us. And I'm really excited for some of the things that we have in store for that. Our in-person events are going to be incredible. Our virtual community that we're creating, our monthly networking events, our speaker series, our apparel line, our streetwear that's coming out. Shout out Balam for creating all that stuff. Like, I am so excited for what we have in 2023. And I think, Parker, I'm holding you and I accountable to not wait until the end of 2023 to get this ball rolling. I want us to get 2023 off to a hot start. We have so much to offer, all the elevators and all of Elevation Nation that's listening. And I'm just really excited for what the future holds, man. It's been quite a journey.
And what's cool about that, I know you said a lot of things, podcast, newsletter, social media content, events, speakers, all of that. It's all coming back to the idea of helping others conquer the real world, and hopefully you can take a little bit of mental fortitude away into your life to elevate. And so, yeah, I'm pumped. It's crazy. We got some cool guests coming, new people, new conversations, new connections, new ideas, everything in between. So I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited.
It's going to be incredible. All right, let's go to our shout-outs, our elevator shout-outs. This one goes out to elevator number 86. Alex Newman has officially signed with the Professional Pickleball Association for 2023. He's going to be on tour with the PPA. Huge news for someone who started off as an amateur just a couple years ago, has been training part-time while working his full-time job in New York City, worked his butt off, made a name for himself, and now has been signed to the PPA with his awesome sponsor, Carbon, having played copious amounts of pickleball these past 2 weeks over break in Savannah. I can say that, Alex, I will never be close to as good as you, but we are super proud to have you in Elevation Nation and cannot wait to see you tear up the PPA this year.
My shout out is a shout out that we gave in our newsletter. And if you're not subscribed, another shameless plug. Please subscribe. You can go to our website and throw your email in there to get Elevation every other Wednesday coming to your inbox. But our guy, elevator number 88, Amir Vardy, has been working on his little product, not a little product anymore. It's a big product. He released finally Lever, which is going to be on the App Store. And Lever helps you ensure you get the most credit card points out of your purchases, which is super cool. This is not an ad by any means. I mean, literally, you can go to the episode with Amir, have him talk through why he built Lever and how, as a young adult, figuring out how to utilize all those credit cards to get them to maximize your points, because you're using them anyway. You're using your credit cards anyway. You might as well get the most out of them. So Amir's an awesome dude, really, really smart guy, helping put money back in people's pockets. So, I mean, what more do you want from that? So shout out Amir and congratulations to that team.
It's beautiful. 200 episodes down. Hopefully another 200 to go, man, if not more. Love this. Thank you, Elevation Nation. The past 200 have been a blast. If you're still listening after 200 episodes, gosh, I hope Parker and I have gotten better since episode 1. If you really want to laugh, go back and listen to that first episode.
No,
we had no idea what
we were
doing.
Laugh. Go to episode, I think it's 4 or 5. You remember we went through a 2-week period where we did the interview and then we did a post interview where I
literally don't even remember that. Jeez,
we were
really?
Reviewing the conversation, and then there was also one where we would. Oh, man. I don't know. We did the one outside, remember?
Outside, yeah, at the Washington Monument.
At the Washington Monument. That one's up somewhere. If you can find that one, kudos to you. But it's up. It's there.
It's crazy stuff. All right, Elevation Nation. Until next week, peace.